Hey guys, it's Vanessa. Hello from Colorado. We have officially moved and the apartment is still pretty much a mess. I have two videos that I have already recorded. One has already been edited, that's like our road trip vlog. Then the next thing that's coming is probably going to be like an apartment. Seeing it go from nothing and a mess to sort of livable. So those two are things that are coming but I haven't finished. But the Booktube-a-thon is happening starting on Monday and it's already Friday. This will be my third year participating. I remember the first year that I did it, it was when I was first getting to know Booktube in 2015, and then I started my Booktube channel in November of that year. And then last year I participated and I made two vlogs during it. And my dog is staring at me. What are you doing? Dogging to nothing. So yeah, so 2016 I had a lot of fun doing it, so I'm excited that it's back. I picked some great books, I think, and that fit really well into the challenges. Honestly, it took me a few days to come up with these, and watching lots of other people and the kinds of things that they were reading. Oh, and by the way, I'll leave everything that you need to know down below. I'm sure everybody has told you when it runs and who is running it and all that kind of stuff, so you don't need me to repeat that for you. So the first challenge is to read a book with a person on the cover. I selected The Cave by Theodore Taylor. This is a book that I've been telling myself I was going to reread this year because I have made it a challenge to myself to reread a book this year and haven't done that yet, so this could also help that personal challenge that I had as well. This is a book that I feel like I read in either middle school or elementary school. It was really important to me. I want to reread it to see how I think about it now. I actually read the first page and it takes place off the coast of Venezuela, which I thought was really interesting that I didn't remember that fact. I feel like this book was trying to teach children not to judge other people based on the color of their skin, but we'll see what I think. This is a really short book, so it'll be great for this readathon. The next challenge is to read a hyped book, and for this one I'm between two books. So one of those books is Euphoria by Lily King. Lots of people that I know have read it. I know this is kind of following anthropologists and people who shouldn't be falling in love with each other, so that might be good for a readathon. I also put The Female of the Species, which I downloaded on audiobook. The audiobook is only 7 hours, so I thought that would also be something that I might do. The Female of the Species follows a main character who I've heard has a really interesting voice, and that the book has very feminist themes, so I thought that would be an interesting YA book for me to read. The next challenge is to finish a book in a day, and for this one I picked graphic novels, of course. I picked up Sweet Tooth at the library. I've already got my library card. One of the library cards that I'm going to get. This is the 5th book in the Sweet Tooth series, and there's only 6 total, and I also got the 6th one, so maybe I'll read both of them. But if not, I also have Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art. This is by Scott McCloud, who did, what is that book called? The Sculptor. In this one, it's more of like a teaching book. It's trying to explain cartoon history, comics, and how you can kind of interpret comics and how they are formatted, why certain artists do certain things and what that like means, symbolizes, etc. And he gives you all of this information through a comic. So I think that's a really interesting way to learn more about comics and graphic novels. I feel like I know quite a bit because I do read a lot of it, but I feel like I need kind of the theory and like the background and the history, so I thought this would be great. This is actually my boyfriend's copy that he had to read for an English class that he had to take during college, and he wanted to get rid of it, and I said no, I want to keep it so I can read it. So it will either be one of these two or both of them. We'll see how my week is going. The next challenge is to read a character that is very different from you. For this one I selected Iggie's House by Judy Blume. The way that I found out about this book was kind of interesting to me. I was seeing lots of commercials for the new movie Detroit that has John Boyega in it. I wanted to hear more about like where that movie is coming from because it's based on history. So of course I looked it up on Wikipedia, and apparently it's based on riots that occurred in Detroit, and I kept reading, and at the bottom it says like in popular media. They do that on a lot of Wikipedia pages, and one book that had this historical event featured in it was Iggie's House. So it follows these girls that are neighbors. One of them is white, and there is a black girl that moves into the neighborhood, and they become good friends, but Winnie, the white character, realizes that not everyone in the neighborhood is as welcoming of this new family. So it has a lot to do with housing and racism in housing in this neighborhood, and that sounded really interesting for me to read. Judy Blume books are ones that I can whip through. They're really quick for me, so I also think this would be great for a readathon. According to this, it should take me an hour and 45 minutes to read it. I don't even know if you can see this. Oh, I haven't even shown you guys this, but I got a new tablet. I got a Fire tablet. My tablet, which was a hand-me-down from my boyfriend, actually the battery was dying. For as long as I could charge it, it just would not charge. So that poor tablet that is probably more than 6 years old is no more. So I got this new tablet, and I got the yellow back, which I really enjoy because yellow is my favorite color. It's kind of weird downloading it through Kindle instead of through EPUB books, which is how I did it on the Android tablet that I had before. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to this Kindle thing. So I'm going to be reading Iggie's House for that challenge. The next challenge is to read a book outdoors. I selected a poetry collection also on my tablet. That poetry collection is Egghead by Bo Burnham. I heard about this on Bianca's channel, and I'll link her channel down below, and she said it was hilarious when the temperature kind of goes down, maybe during the evening. I could read it in the balcony or something like that. I've already kind of read the first couple poems to kind of see what the vibe is, and they do look pretty fun. I hope that it makes me laugh out loud. The next challenge is to read a book you bought because of the cover. I don't really buy books because of their covers, but I do feel attracted to many covers. So I just picked one that I thought that I really enjoyed the cover, and that would be, I think, great for this. I think it would also switch up the fact that I have a lot of fiction, and that will be Best Date Ever, A Florida Man Defends His Homeland by Dave Barry. I love this cover. It's yellow. Again, you can tell it's my favorite color, and it's just got lots of Florida things on it, like I-95, the space shuttle, sharks, alligators, you know, crocodiles, that kind of thing. And this one's Dave Barry's memoir, kind of talking about the state of Florida and why we are not as nuts as people make us out to be in the media and in popular culture, you know, like Florida Man. So far, I feel like I've read the first page of all of these to make sure it's what I want to read for this readathon, but I read the introduction, like the first page of the introduction, and it was kind of him saying, like, people are always asking him, why do you live in Florida? He's kind of arguing, you know, like, why do you live in Illinois? What does Illinois really have to offer in comparison? Florida is definitely an interesting place to live, and now that I've left the state of Florida, I kind of want to read this to feel some connection to what was really like my home state. So I think this one will be fun and funny too. And the last challenge is to read 7 books. If I read The Female of the Species and Euphoria, that makes it 7 books. If not, I could go for The Last Sweet Tooth, Volume 6, after I'm done with 5, and that would make it 7 as well. I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like nobody really accomplishes that, but we just want to tell you about as many books that we're excited about that are possibilities, and that's why we could have 7 books in this TBR for 7 days. Like, that's actually going to happen. I'm really excited. I don't know if you could tell from, like, my voice, but I'm really excited to like sit down and talk to the camera about books. I'm gonna go film something else. I'll probably film like what I've been reading in the past month because I have not done a wrap up in a month. You can look out for that. Like I said, the road trip vlog, the vlog of the apartment being a mess and then transforming it hopefully into a nice place. I hope that you enjoy Booktube-a-thon if you're doing it, and I've already watched so many Booktube-a-thon TBRs and I'm excited that so many people are participating. It was nice to talk to you again, and hopefully I will talk to you very soon. Bye bye.